Well, hello and welcome to episode number 392 of the Plain Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's show, a Russian firm is trying to sell a broken airliner, an A340 makes a very frosty landing, and a UK-based airline has a run-in with 5 purple balloons. In the military this week, we look at the recent F-35 crash, and we also have news on nuclear-capable F-18 Hornets in Germany. And we also look, especially not with Micah in the chat room, and our caption this pick of the week as well. So joining me this week, and I mean, the illusion's probably blown now, but joining me this week in the PGUK kitchen studio is Matt Smith.
Well, hello. How are we? This is nice, isn't it? It's just you and me for a change.
It's just me and you and me and you.
He can't help it. It's like copyright, stop singing.
Copyright, yeah. How is Mr. Smith on this really gloomy...
isn't it? Honestly, it is rubbish here in the UK today. If you are listening, it says we record this on a Friday. It's Friday the 26th. Just gone. It was 5 minutes past 7, but it has done nothing but pretty much rain all day. I'm being told off for shattering the illusion for being attacked.
We were on time today. We went live at dead on 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah, I deny everything. Yeah,
yeah. So, well, just for quickly for those of you who are watching in the YouTube world, we obviously have opted for backdrops today that hark back to our early years.
Yeah.
When we were in the kitchen, and it was a kitchen
literally
studio.
in your kitchen. Although, once again, great confusion caused to your poor and long-suffering lovely wife. It's like, Carlos, why are you taking pictures of my dinner? Because we can see in the background of your of your thing, you've got Gemma's dinner on the worktop there. Which is nice.
She was she was sitting at the table eating a tea, and I said, "Move off the table now. What do you want? I want to take a picture." Oh, okay,
right.
Fair enough.
Yes, yeah.
But
no change there then.
No change there. Long-suffering wife.
Yes,
anyway,
very much so.
We have a couple of absentees this evening. Mr. Bounds is not with us this evening. He's currently on location somewhere. Yes, he's
somewhere cold, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has literally. We were talking in our group chat earlier this week about Mr. Bounds, and we all agreed that we think that Nev should change his name to Judith Chalmers. For those of you who might be wondering who Judith Chalmers was, if you Google her, you'll find out that she was the host of a rather popular holiday program back in the mid to late 80s, man.
Yeah, mid to late 80s, early 90s. It was a long-running series, to be fair.
It was, yeah. Because he's literally done nothing but.
If you Google "Wish You Were Here" on Google, on YouTube, you will almost certainly stumble across the legend that is Judith Chalmers.
And
absolutely,
Judith Chalmers, yeah,
indeed,
the same name. And also this week, Armando is missing. Unfortunately, he might drop in later. We don't know yet, but he's unfortunately doing his job, which is flying wonderful aircraft all around the US of A. So. If you're tuned in, Armando, hello. We miss you, but he might pop in later, so hopefully he'll come and see us and say hello. But we have also got to say a big welcome to everyone in the YouTube chat room this evening. Just going to look through who we've got in this week. So just a point of reference, Richard Adams was actually in the chat room at about 5:30 this afternoon, waiting for us to start the show. So Richard Adams, you get the top viewer mark, I think, on YouTube this week.
Is it like some kind of award we give them? For
being early, yeah. Okay. Also, GB's Model Zone, he was also in very early as well, so hello to you as well. We have got Nick Codling. Hello to you, Nick. Mazus Karim, hello to you, Mazus. Dirk S. Alan White is also in there, wanting to have a beer review with me. We've got Masha, hello to you, Masha. Hope you've had better weather your side of Europe, Masha, to what we've had today. Tony S., hello to you, Tony. Hope you're also keeping dry here with us in the UK. Which is a hard thing at the moment. And also Neil Landwarn, hello to you, Neil. And John Clada is also in the
Never heard of him.
Wielding a blue spanner of death. And we've obviously got our podcast royalty, our main man, Uncle Micah, is also in the chat.
Oh, and Tanya.
Oh, and Tanya. Hello,
Yeah,
Tanya.
look at that.
Just popped in the chat room there.
Indeed.
Hello, Tanya. Nice to see you.
Indeed.
Don't forget
I just know Richard Adams has got a passive. Who dat, John? Yes, sorry. Richard Adams has just said this is very sort of trying to keep it on aviation if we can.
And
says,
not 12.
I know. He says unusual prop noise overhead just now, according to FR24, was an AN12. There you go. What's an AN12? Somebody explain.
It is a relatively old Russian plane. You know, Matt, it's one of those Russian aircraft that are literally built like a flying tank.
Right.
I'm just trying to find it on Float Radio 24. Anyway, we're not here to play with apps on our phones.
No. Quite.
Neil Lamb was actually saying on the chat room, missed the kitchen studio. It does seem to be leaning a bit, though. Apologies.
Yeah, that would be because Carlos had a little bit too much. He's a couple of tinnies in already at this point when he took the photograph, so that's why. And he also took the photograph from a little bit too high as well, because it should. But anyway, it was just a photograph at the end of the day. Bit of fun. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with this. What are we doing next?
My bad. Yeah, so a big thank you to everyone who's joined us in the chat. Don't forget, if you are listening to the show as an audio podcast and you want to see the madness that is the YouTube chat room, don't forget to take yourselves over to YouTube, search for us, Plain Talking UK, and give us a follow or subscribe on YouTube. And don't forget to hit that bell icon next door, which is right next to it, to be notified when we're live and recording new episodes, as we are now, because we would love to have you in the chat room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got quite a bit to get through tonight, and it is just me and Matt, so we're going to trawl through the stories this week. Some good stories this week, actually, in the news. So if if everyone's ready.
I'm ready.
If Matt's ready, let's go.
Yeah.
So, kicking off this week's first news story, this comes to us from walesonline.co.uk. And BA are wielding their blue spanner of doom, I think, here, because BA are warning it will axe Heathrow flights in dispute over airline charges. So British Airways will consider axing Heathrow flights if planned increases in fees are implemented, the boss of the airline's parent company has claimed. IAG, or International Airlines Group Chief Executive Luis Gallego, said the airport's charges are already among the highest in the world and are becoming more and more expensive. In October, the Civil Aviation Authority announced a plan to raise the cap on airports' average charge per passenger by up to 76%, from the current level of £19.60 to between £24.50 and £34.40. Mr. Gallego said Heathrow gives the UK's aviation sector a major advantage, but warned that we need to attract demand to stay competitive. He told the Airlines 2021 conference in Westminster, which is where I was last week, the reality is more than 40% of the people who use Heathrow are connecting passengers. They're simply passing through on their way to other destinations and could easily go by other more competitive hubs. Hiking charges will not help. It will not attract demand. It will have the opposite effect if the rise in landing charges goes ahead. He said, I know our IAG will not be alone in reconsidering our airline's use of Heathrow. Tim Alderslade, Chief Executive of trade body Airlines UK, warned, it's crazy that at a time when the travel industry needs holidaymakers to return to the skies, the UK's biggest airport is hell-bent on trying to price them out, penalising them for not travelling during the pandemic by adding an overinflated premium to their tickets rather than turning to its shareholders or taking out loans like the rest of the industry. A £10 to £15 increase in airport charges is not comparable to pushing up economy class tickets to the US to over £2,000 this Christmas, which is what some airlines are currently doing. And I know they are because I've seen the prices. It's true that Heathrow is proposing a higher pandemic price increase than continental airports, but we are neither state-owned nor have we received billions in state aid during the crisis, they said, and they rely entirely on private investment. Heathrow passengers want a reliable quality experience. The higher charge will enable us, he said, to deliver key investments in the next 5 years to protect passengers' service. The range is planned to come into effect from summer 2022, with an interim cap of £30 being introduced on January the 1st. Charges are paid by airlines, but are generally passed on to passengers in fare prices. Heathrow had called for the cap to range from £32 to £43 for the 5-year period under consultation. Do I think BA will pull out of Heathrow?
No.
I'd be incredibly surprised if BA pulled out of Heathrow, because
I mean they've got a whole terminal, haven't they? I mean, the story they're essentially talking about reducing, sort of. It's a funny one, isn't it? Really, no, they're not going to. Of course, they're not going to pull out of Heathrow, are they? That's just not going to happen.
Yes, but I think they'd be silly to price themselves out though, because airlines have got the capability to go elsewhere. I mean, Gatwick, most of the airlines pulled out of Gatwick and went elsewhere during the pandemic. So obviously they've got probably some space.
Well, I don't think they went elsewhere. It's just that the capacity in the network, if you see what I mean. They were just filling up planes at different airports, weren't they? I don't think they weren't moving directly to different. They weren't moving like a Malaga flight from Gatwick to, say, Luton. They were just filling. Not that Luton is one that BA uses, I know, but it's it's a bit of a funny one, isn't it?
Be nice to see what it's like. What if they've put the investment into the airport since I last flew from Heathrow.
Well, I mean, at one time, Terminal 5 was almost exclusively BA, wasn't it? At one point, I don't know if that's still the case.
I think BA, their main lounge, or their posh lounges at Terminal 5, I know, because Nevers took me in there before. But their transatlantic flights go from Terminal 5 to BA.
Well, indeed, but most of the One World flights that John is saying is from Terminal 5, we think, but. It's a busy old terminal, however you dress it up.
It is a very busy terminal and a busy airport, to be fair, and getting busier, thankfully.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think we're quite up to the levels of pre-COVID, but definitely on the move. Okay, next story is it's at thelist.co.uk. Whatever that is, and the headline is BBC set to air new aviation series about flirty passengers and cabin crews lifestyles. Wow. A new BBC series is expected to explore what goes on behind the scenes at an airline. Aviation series Flight Club is set to follow the cabin crew working for Scottish airline Logan Air, and is claimed the show will even document some of the crew's romances as well as the on-board drama. A source told the Sun newspaper, that TV's Biz Common Flight Club will have everything: gorgeous crew, handsome pilots, and a little travel inspo to inspire some wanderlust. Travel inspo to... I really do despair about the English language sometimes. But it's the office romances at 35,000 feet, flirty passengers, and... I'm not going to read that word out. That really moaning passengers that really make it. We've heard all the stories about the partying lifestyles of cabin crew, so expect lots of that. Flight Club will also show the real world of aviation, not just groaning passengers who have missed their flights. A BBC source said, with great characters being their authentic selves, doing something they love, and regional voices and stories, it has all the ingredients we love in a show. It's an aspirational series that will show that there is more to the job than just flying passengers from A to B. In previous years, aviation shows have focused more on the mundane work at the airport, with a look at difficult passengers and catching smugglers at customs. But this show is expected to revolve around the glitz and glamour of the cabin crew. The show about the high life was filmed during the summer at regional carriers Logan Loganair headquarters in Glasgow. It's set to air on BBC Three over the coming winter months. Ooh. BBC previously aired Airport, a series that ran for 11 seasons from 1996 to 2008. The documentary show was based at London Heathrow Airport and followed the lives of passengers and airport staff. Now, I'm going to challenge that because my I'm pretty certain it wasn't. Was it at Heathrow?
Yeah, it was at Heathrow. Yeah,
oh, right,
yeah, it was at Heathrow. Yeah,
it followed. I can say that. No. There was one that was based at Luton. What was the one that
Come Fly With Me? Yeah.
Oh right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Come Fly.
Well, Come Fly With Me was the comedy one, wasn't it, with David Walliams and David.
No, it's Airline. It was Airline
right, okay,
that was based at Luton.
Okay, right.
It was Airline that was based at Luton, and they focused on EasyJet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Okay, that's fair enough. Now, I mean, I've got lots of. First of all, the first thing there is Loganair is recorded during the summer months. Now, I wasn't aware we were doing a great deal of flying during that particular period, and certainly Loganair.
They obviously done some.
Indeed. I don't know. If I was at the airline, I would be very, very nervous about, I don't know. I mean, cabin crew are amazing. There's no two ways about that. But
I tell you what, we've had some really good series that over the years that have been broadcast on TV. And do you remember last year, Matt? We had that one that was where they focused on the crew, the flight deck crews training with EasyJet.
Vaguely, yeah.
Was it on BBC One or IT? It was one of the channels here in the UK. Or was it Channel 4? Yeah. And they had the camera crews actually on the flight decks while the younger pilots were training to be FOs with EasyJet. And obviously, like we said, we've had Airline back in the early 90s. I think Airline
96
was
to 2008. It was,
that was a great series. Run for quite a few series actually. That and focused on.
I have heard rumours that it might be making a comeback.
Well, that would be good. That would be nice to see that. And obviously, as the story said, you've just read here, Matt. It's the one that was filmed at Heathrow a few years back. Airport, which was also a good series. Which is more of a technical one. That was. Richard
Adams says, "Sounds like it'll be a reality aviation version of that abysmal 80s soap Triangle." I must admit, I don't remember that one, but it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be fun. As I say, I'd just be a bit nervous because the trouble is that the editors are quite well renowned for editing stuff out of context, I should say. So I would certainly be demanding, sort of seeing it before it went out if I was Loganair, to be honest with you. Not that I have any reason to think that cabin crew and or pilots would ever do anything that was in any way shady. But Captain Crew says, shows how desperate the aviation industry is to explore new income streams. Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Yeah, although not being funny, if it's on the BBC, probably not a great deal of money involved.
Well, it's on BBC Three, which is one of the Freeview channels here in the UK. So
in February, although to be fair, as I say, it is a Freeview channel. It's currently online only, but it is going back to free to air on Freeview and things in February.
BBC Three was back. I was on three.
No, it's coming back in February. It's coming back as a linear channel in February. It is a channel on the iPlayer at the moment, where you can get things like Drag Race and stuff like that. But indeed,
excellent. So Matt, you've actually got the next story.
Okay, right. Well. So we're going to. Right, okay.
You're going to Russia for this next story, aren't you?
Right, okay.
So you need to speak in a Russian accent. Carry on.
No, absolutely not. Anyway, okay. So I'm just trying to set up what John's told me in my ear, so bear with me a moment. The headline is Slightly Damaged Russian Firm Puts Crashed SSJ-100 on sale online. So this is on aerotime.aero. It's a
Sukhoi Superjet.
Bless you. RAD, a Russian auction house, has put a damaged airliner on a classified advertisements website, hoping to sell a no longer airworthy plane. The aircraft, a Sukhoi SSJ-100, registered as Romeo Alpha 89011, belonged to an airline that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. I want to say Yakutia.
Yeah, good.
Okay. According to planespotters.net, it was delivered in 2012, although the advertisement lists it as manufactured in 2008. In October 2018, during a landing at, I want to say, Yakutsk Airport, the aircraft suffered a runway excursion, which led to a landing gear collapse. Later investigation revealed that incorrect ATC data was to blame. Several passengers were hospitalised with minor injuries. Russian aviation news website aviation21.ru reports that the aircraft sustained vertical acceleration of 4.39 G at the moment of impact with a concrete structure at the end of the runway. According to Aviation Safety Network, an investigation revealed significant damage to the aircraft's fuselage and landing gear, as well as a fuel leak. The aircraft was deemed damaged beyond repair and had to be written off. It's unclear how the airframe found its way into the hands of the RAD auction house. The advertisement was created on the 15th of November 2021 on avito.ru website. There you are, so if you want to go and place a bid. According to the RAD profile, the company also offers over 130 cars and trucks of various models and has a rating of 1.7 stars out of 5. The advertisement for the SSJ 100 says that the aircraft is in an emergency condition and cannot be restored to flyable condition. Numerous low-quality photographs reveal the extent of the damage, including bent landing gear, struts, and mangled sections of the skin. The listed price is 77,248,334 Russian rubles, or slightly over $1 million. The location is marked as Yakutsk, and no information in regards to shipping is provided. The Sukhoi SSJ-100, also known as the Sukhoi Superjet and the Superjet 100, is a regional airliner introduced in 2011. The aircraft can carry between 87 and 103 passengers and has a maximum range of 4,578 kilometres. That's 2,472 nautical miles. So there we go.
I love Alan's comment in the chat room. Alan White says Sukhoi couldn't sell them new. A written off one has no chance of being brought.
I don't know. I mean, somebody might buy it to literally turn it into it'd make a great, if you had the space for it.
It must have been really, really badly damaged for them.
Quick, Carlos, get a bid in before the plane reclaimers get it and mark it up. That's what Richard's suggesting. Good point.
But I'm sure I've seen airliners in worse damage than this, and they've been put back into flying condition again, but obviously this one was.
I mean, they've said that's not to happen, haven't they, in this article? Unless they're just covering themselves, maybe. I guess there's no, there's no guarantee.
That'll end up as luggage tags.
Yeah. 4.1 G is quite a major impact, isn't it, on an incident? That's a high number, isn't it? That's a worry.
I'm surprised as well that I know there's not a huge amount of these in use at the moment, but I'm surprised they didn't take the engines off and at least flog them and get some money for them before trying to sell the airframe itself. But yes, indeed. There's a lot of comments in the chat room about me buying this and putting it in the garden, but I don't think that will quite wash.
Also, how big do they think your garden is that you would be able to get one of those in?
It's not that big, guys, trust me.
No, it really isn't. Yeah.
Anyway, next story, and this is a really good story. This broke this week, actually, on the various news feeds and had some great video as well, which Matt has also got ready. But this is on the edition.cnn.com, and the story is the first time in history an A340, an Airbus A340, has landed on Antarctica. So Highfly, we all know who Highfly is. We've heard about them on the show before. Highfly, a boutique aviation company, was behind the flight. A company specializes in wet leases, which means they hire out both aircraft and aircrew and are responsible for the handling, insurance, maintenance, and other logistics. Highfly 801 took off from Cape Town, South Africa on Tuesday, November the 2nd. The plane was commissioned by Wolfsfang, a new upscale adventure camp on the world's southernmost continent, and brought much-needed supplies to the resort. Wolfang is a new project from high-end Antarctica tourism company White Desert. The crew of High Flight 801 and its return trip to Cape Town High Flight 802 was led by Captain Carlos, yes, great name, Mapuri, who is also High Fly's vice president. Each flight took between 5 and 5.5 hours. The team spent less than 3 hours on the ground in Antarctica, covering 2,500 nautical miles. The cooler it is, the better, Mapuri explained in his captain's log. Grooving is carved along the runway by special equipment, and after cleaning and carving, we get an adequate braking coefficient. The runway being 3,000 meters long, and landing and stopping an A340 that heavy on an airfield wouldn't be a problem. Although the blue ice is gorgeous, it can also be concerning for pilots because of its glare. Mapuri added, the reflection is tremendous, and proper eyewear helps you adjust your eyes between the outside view and the instrumentation. The non-flying pilot has an important role, making the usual plus extra call-outs, especially in the late stages of the approach. The first recorded flight to Antarctica was a Lockheed Vega 1 monoplane back in 1928, piloted by George Hubert Wilkins, an Australian military pilot and explorer. He took off from Deception Island in the southern Shetland Islands, and the project was funded by William Randolph Hearst, the wealthy American publishing tycoon. Short exploratory flights like these were how scientists and map makers got vital information about Antarctica's topography. Well, you know what I mean.
Topography, yes.
God, blimey.
That went well.
Edit that one out. That'll be in the bloopers reel at Christmas. Well done. To this day, there is no airport on the White Continent, but there are 50 landing strips and runways. But Matt played the video there whilst I was reading that, and it is absolutely stunning. What
it is
a heck of a view those guys
have. I mean, it's cold, isn't it? But it is a
Yeah.
beautiful, sort of part of the world, isn't it? I mean, it's just, it's quite magical, isn't it?
Neil Lamborn has said, actually in the chat room, that it would be awesome to be on the flight, but he'd really want to be next to the runway to get the best plane spotting photo he'll ever have.
True. Absolutely true. That is.
Yeah. It's honestly, it is amazing. But I just interested to find out how cold it actually was when they landed there. I mean, obviously they were in the minus bits, I expect.
Indeed.
But,
and actually, we did, as part of the Plain Truth series that we do with Captain Al, if you want to know more about that and how you plane stop on things like snow, episode 23 of the Plain Truths is how you find out more information about that.
Oh, great story. And a great video as well. But
lovely video.
There are some other videos actually on YouTube as well if you search for that high fly flight that they've done as well. And it's well worth a watch as well. So, moving on to the next story, Matt, we're moving back to the UK where it's just as cold, really, to be fair.
Not quite that cold, to be fair. It's not that bad. Okay, so bbc.co.uk is the website, and the headline is Luton Airport to change flight paths in safety move with Stansted. So flight paths and holding patterns for aircraft arriving into Luton Airport are to be altered because of its proximity to Stansted. The Civil Aviation Authority, the CAA, approved plans to simplify and modernise arrival routes into Britain's fifth busiest airport. Luton currently uses airspace over Royston, Hertfordshire, but it will move to the St Neots and Huntingdon area. The two airports are just 26 miles, 42 kilometres apart by air. An airport spokesman said that the new flight paths would segregate from Stansted's to ensure continued safety. Work is underway to train air traffic controllers and ensure pilots are familiar with the new routes, he added. The changes follow a 5-month public consultation between Luton Airport and NATS, the air traffic control provider, which garnered more than 2,400 responses. They will come into effect next February. Two options options were offered to the consultation, with option 1 chosen. The airport said the location and orientation of the new holding area near the A1 and the A14 junction was adjusted, and the lowest standard altitude of the hold was raised by 1,000 feet, reducing potential noise impacts on the residents of St Neots and Huntingdon, it added. Now, that's an interesting one. So, is this in? I don't know the answer to this. Perhaps one of you guys might know. Is this in response to an incident? Is that why they're moving it, or has something been highlighted as a potential concern, and that's why?
No, I just think it's. I don't think it's because of an incident. I just think it's just very busy airspace. Obviously, not so much now, but when these two airports are in full swing,
yes,
i.e., before COVID, it is a very, very busy part of the UK between Stansted and Luton, because they're a distance apart, but they are relatively close. If you look on the on Sky Demon, other apps are available. You can have a look and you can see how close the actual control zones are for these two airports. They are quite close. So yeah, I think it's just a move to make things, or to make things safer in the skies. But yeah, the two, it's actually, like you said, Matt, the story, 26 miles apart these airports are. So they are relatively close together, Luton and Stansted.
Yeah.
Although I prefer flying from Stansted.
Well, I think we all do. Actually, Richard Adams is saying in the chat room that he's saying Exeter has got a proposal in for airspace rationalisation at the moment. Not yet read the detail, but I doubt GA will be a consideration. And of course, that is a common issue, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Because of course, like there is a very nice airport in Cambridge, isn't there? For example, now that's surely with its proximity to Huntingdon. That's got to be a concern, or is it because GA is so low, maybe? But I mean, I don't know. You're not normally flying that high, I suppose, in standard GA, are you?
No? not with normal Cessnas or your Pipers and stuff.
Yeah.
But these the other thing as well with these airports, as well as that Luton has quite a high amount of business jets. I say the posh stuff flying out of Luton, whereas Stansted obviously has more of the low-cost carriers that fly from Stansted, which is busy, and cargo, as John just said in our area. But yeah, they are two very busy airports, relatively close together. Their control zones are near enough merging on each other. If you look at them on a map, actual map, planning map. But yeah, this was obviously it'll be interesting to see if we get, perhaps we can get a couple of pilots who we know that fly from both these airports, Luton and Stansted, and see what their views are on these.
Indeed. Now I'm just trying to. We've just had some pictures sent in by Armando regarding the previous video story.
Yeah, previous video. Yeah, so the previous video that Matt ran for the A340 flight into Antarctica. Apparently Armando was he's tuned in, saw the video, and apparently one of the aircraft that Armando used to fly, he's flown, and he's obviously said that he could see the video in the background of that 340 video. And apparently it's one of the aircraft that the company that he used to work for, they used to lease the aircraft to the White Desert.
Look at that.
And there he is. He's not quite with us in video form, but he's a lovely picture of him.
Hot off the presses, as they say. Hot off the presses. There you go. And you can see that exact aircraft in the video that we were playing. Links to that, of course, will be in the show notes, so you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about. There we go.
So, Matt, you've got the next story, because the one after it has got lots of pictures.
Oh, right. Is that what's
Matt, for the next story, actually, this is quite good. This is a bit more of a festive story, because we are obviously close to Christmas.
Oh, don't say that.
But this is regarding a story about a certain item that I never get at Christmas. I never get one. Anyway, carry on, Matt.
I mean, I feel I'm not really sure what to say, and feel a little bit sad. It's like I feel like I need to rush out and buy one all of a sudden. Okay. Oh no, I'm closing the wrong things here. Right.
Simple flying is where this one's come from.
Right. So simple flying is where this is coming from, as Carlos says. Sorry, I'll be there in a second. A couple of technical issues. All right. So feeling festive, EasyJet launches a £695 advent calendar with flights. I love you, mate, but not that much. EasyJet, she doesn't love you that much either. I can tell you that for no money. EasyJet has launched its first ever festive calendar this year, priced at £695.
Wow.
Called the Adventure. See what they did there? Calendar. EasyJet's calendar consists of 12 drawers containing a travel gift. Festive gifts include 4 pairs of return flights for 2 and a year's EasyJet Plus membership worth £215. The limited edition Advent calendar will be on sale from Friday the 26th of November. That is today. Isn't that exciting? To celebrate the upcoming festive season, EasyJet has launched a new... Sorry, I've been told off for sarcasm there. I know I mean it. I really do. To celebrate
glad they can't hear John's voice now. Yeah.
To celebrate the upcoming festive season, EasyJet has launched a new limited edition Advent calendar that includes flights. The Adventure calendar features 12 drawers, each with special travel gifts. This is the first time EasyJet has launched a festive calendar, following research suggesting the British population crave foreign adventure more than anything else in 2022. And I think we are all a bit like that, aren't we, actually? We're all craving some kind of sunny, hot location or whatever. You know, it's like just thinking desperate to get on a plane to Dubai at the moment. In fact, I know 2 friends who have done that literally this week. One of my friends has literally gone there to play golf. That is literally what they've done, is to go to Dubai to play golf. Anyway, the calendar is priced at £695 with an RRP value of over £1,500 according to EasyJet. The Advent calendar will be on sale from Friday the 26th of November with a limited number available. A look at the calendar in detail. 4 pairs of return tickets for 2, including 23 kilograms of hold luggage per person, £75 worth of vouchers to spend on tours and excursions across Europe with Get Your Guide, 1 year EasyJet Plus membership worth £215, a £50 voucher for car hire even, and £45 worth of vouchers to spend on EasyJet's onboard bistro. There you go. So I mean, it's a nice idea, I suppose, isn't it? It's.
I think the brilliant. I mean, if this is actually true, I'm sure it is, because they wouldn't be able to write it if it wasn't. But this is, according to them, £1,500 or £1,500 worth, £1,500 worth of stuff for £695. So it's a bargain,
I guess,
if you want to spend £695 on a Christmas Advent calendar. To be fair, I'd probably prefer to have like a Reese's chocolate one personally, but that's just me being fussy.
Well, I mean, it's not £695 though, is it?
It's not £695.
It's quite a bit cheaper. It's the yes, it does. Yes, I presume. I mean, we're making assumptions here. I presume it's not return flights to anywhere. I presume they must have been predetermined, these tickets. Otherwise, you would on purpose think, right, I'm off to South Africa, for example, because they used to fly in. Yeah, no. Well, you say that. No. Where is it? Well, I mean, you used to be able to fly Sharm el Sheikh from with EasyJet, because I did it. So okay, all right. I'm being told off for my
Jonathan
rubbish geography.
Warner in the chat room has said, not being funny, but for all that money, I'd like it to at least go up to the 24th.
Why? How long does it run for? Not long.
I think the pick is
12 draws. Yeah,
12 draws.
Well, it's one every other day. It's fine. So it is going up to the 24th. It's just like, you just do one every day, don't you? Don't you? No.
Richard Adams has also made a quite interesting comment, Matt, in the chat room. If you can see that.
Is that why am I imagining an EasyJet themed snakes and ladders? Land on a plane, land on a snake, pay extra for luggage, get into a fight, land on a ladder, and get a great flight for £10 each. True point, well made. There we go.
Neil Lamborn has also, before we move on, Neil Lamborn has said PTUK Advent calendar for next year.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, what could we put behind
flight socks? That's one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, a bit of a squeeze to fit a T-shirt behind one, and the mug would definitely stand out.
It would. Yeah, absolutely. It could be a voucher for one, I guess.
Yeah, true.
There we go.
Yeah, perhaps we should look into that for next year.
All right. Fine.
Anyway, moving on before we market the whole
Right.
entire new shop on the website. This next story comes to us from a local newspaper, actually, eveningnews24.co.uk. And we are moving to a part of the UK which is just down the road from me and Matt. Step back in time to Norwich Airport in the 1980s, this one. So that's Norwich International Airport. Getting in or out of Norfolk is not always the smoothest journey, as we all know. Yes, I think we do all know. Nelson's country is geographically out on a limb. Is that why people say we live in the end of nowhere, Matt?
Back end of nowhere, yes.
Yeah. But since it officially opened in 1969, flights from Norwich Airport have started many happy holidays for people in the region. And tonight on the show, we are turning back the clocks to visit Norwich Airport in the 1980s, an important decade for growth in the transportation hub. In 1981 and 1982, Eastern Airways started flights from Norwich to Heathrow and Gatwick Airport, respectively. The range of choice for package holidays increased as countries like Holland, Portugal, and Yugoslavia joined the departure board in the decade as well. In 1983, a Royal Air Force Vulcan bomber retired to the City of Norwich Aviation Museum, which was based on site at the airport in those days, and was also home to the PTUK 100th episode. By the mid-1980s, passengers and officials alike lamented the limitations of the airport's terminal. Norwich Airport became a limited company back in 1987, which opened doors for seeking investments in the facilities. A year later, the Queen Mother took a helicopter to Norwich Airport, where she officially opened the Transport Hub's new £5 million terminal. And judging by the size of that terminal, as I know I've been in there a few times. Don't know where that £5 million went, but
now
it's almost like it's nearly just as big as a kitchen down where me and Matt are.
That's a little unfair.
It's not very big.
It's a bit bigger than that, yeah.
But the pictures are great. Really good quality pictures, actually, black and white.
Yeah,
pictures,
love it.
For those of you watching on YouTube, if you listen to this as the audio podcast, don't forget to take yourselves over to YouTube so you can check out these pictures. There's actually one there, Matt, with the dinosaur, and it's I think it's one of the characters from Coronation Street. I think is it Bet, and then one of the comedians from the area.
Bernie Clifton.
Bernie Clifton. That's it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Unexpected.
I know. It's random, isn't it?
And I mind you, is that a red arrow? I don't know. Probably.
Yes, it is. Yeah, one of the red arrows. Yeah.
Of course, they still visit. They still visit quite regularly, don't they? They often do an overnight there, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Although, look, judging by that picture, that was obviously pre health and safety.
Well, yes,
regulations.
Absolutely. Not quite as robust as it is now, shall we say?
No. Actually, Mazuz Karim has put in the chat room just to remind us all. It's actually London Norwich Airport.
Good point. Well made. Yes, it is indeed London Norwich Airport. What a silly mistake we made there. Okay, we'll move on.
Move on. Matt's got a very inflated story next.
Oh. Right, okay. I thought we were talking about my ego then. Right, Euroweeklynews.com is the website. And the headline, Boeing 737 holiday jet in near miss with 5 purple balloons. A report just released has revealed how a Boeing 737 jetliner with around 189 passengers on board was involved in a near-miss incident earlier this year on the 28th of August. The plane was reportedly travelling at 200 miles an hour at the time, making its descent around 7,000 feet just north of Chester-le-Street in County Durham. It's believed to have been a Jet2 flight from Ibiza coming into land at Newcastle Airport. According to the report made by the UK Airprox board, the UKAB, 5 purple balloons tied together passed just under the right wing of the jet. The board categorised the incident as a Category A, which means there was a risk of serious collision. The pilot allegedly radioed the incident through to air traffic control, saying, "Just a report of a near miss with about 5 or 6 balloons. They just nearly hit us," chuckling. That's what it says on the story, by the way. That's not me chuckling. In the report, it said that the incident was acknowledged and that no other aircraft were in the vicinity. No further action was taken. We are aware of the issue and reported the event to the relevant authorities and reported the investigation in line with our safety procedures. At no point was the safety of those on board compromised. The safety and well-being of passengers and crew is always EasyJet's highest priority, said an EasyJet spokesperson. Now, what have I missed here? I feel like... I mean, are we talking hot air balloons here?
No. These are like kids' balloons from parties. These are normal standard kind of.
Wait. Hang on. So a report has been made to
the UK Airprox Board.
To the UK Airprox Board because of 5 helium balloons.
That's true. That's correct.
I mean,
yes. No. Neil Lamorne says, "Is it April the 1st?" No, Neil, it's not April the 1st. This is an actual story, and if you look on the Airprox Board, I think you can find that report on there. Actually, I'm just surprised that
what
the
am I
pilots
missing?
actually had the chance to see this.
What kind of balloons are able to cause a Class A incident? Titanium plated balloons. Thank you, Captain Cruz. Much appreciated.
We've had stories on the show over the last year or two about Jetpack Man, or the supposed
absolutely.
Jetpack Man seen.
He's definitely he or she. Sorry, we shouldn't make assumptions. Or they. Let's be politically correct completely. They are definitely a Class A incident.
UFOs.
Yeah.
I mean, what couldn't you want more than some nice balloons to fly alongside your jet?
I mean, are we short of stories this week? Is that why this one was featured? I mean, I'm just trying to get my head around it. No? Okay.
Oh, Richard Adams, fantastic comment from Richard in the chat room. Reference to the film Airline.
Oh.
Or Airport, sorry. Airport. Richard says, maybe Otto, as in the inflatable autopilot in the film Airport. Maybe Otto was pilot flying at the time and got a sudden inferiority complex. Oh, you've got to watch the film to get that one. But anyway, very good. Yeah. One day. Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen Airport?
No,
yet,
I haven't seen Airport.
Oh, blimey. Oh, we need to sort that out, John.
Airplane. No,
Airplane.
Airplane.
I
haven't seen Airplane. No, I haven't seen.
Oh no, Airport was a serious. Was the serious film that the airplane film took the
Mickey out of. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Indeed. Okay.
I've got them on a hard drive, Matt. I'll get them to you.
Right. Oh, thank you.
Anyway,
what a treat. Yeah. Drop it in the G drive.
Drop it in the G drive. Yeah.
Okay.
Next story. This is from the Points Guy. This is for me and Matt. This one.
Is it?
Yes, I know. John's just dropping stuff in here. Like,
what am I doing? What? Okay.
So this is the 12 must-have apps to help you survive the holiday travel season.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, although, as this story comes from thepointsguy.com, although airports might look somewhat different this holiday season, you'll still see some crowded terminals be faced with overpriced food, encounter the inevitable flight disruptions, and potential to have to cope with your pandemic-frayed nerves. The good news is that thanks to your smartphone, Android device, obviously, you'll have the power to minimize all this that's bad about your travel if you remember to download the right apps. So we have a list of wonderful apps that you might want to download for your phone. Some of you may have these apps. If you have these apps already in the chat room, let us know and what you think of them. The first one is Packing Pro. Before you start your trip, you have to pack, and Packing Pro helps. The app helps you stay organized. It comes with a master catalog to track items you pack the most, along with the ability to create custom packing lists for your trip. Keep a tally of items packed and make a check mark to confirm also what you've packed. You can also sort items by priority type, filter items to identify what you still need to buy, and be able to either print or email your final lists. Among other features, a list can be especially helpful if your baggage is delayed or lost. So that's Packing Pro.
I quite like this because it's got because it's listing stupid things. I mean, it's like driver's license. I mean, I wouldn't have had to turn around and rush home if I'd have had my driving license with me and maybe use this app. So I can see why this would have a, I mean, I suppose things like ATM card and cash and all that kind of thing. I suppose it's the digital version of what we normally do, isn't it? Which is to say,
get a case out of the loft, put your pants
well,
in
I
your
was thinking more like
t-shirt.
now when you get in the taxi, what they're supposed to say to you. I'm ignoring you. What you're supposed to say is like literally, right, passports, wallet, like car keys or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's I suppose so. This is not aimed so much at flying, but more at helping you get ready to get on the plane, essentially.
Yeah. Neil Lamwan's just said in the chat room, actually, Matt. He said he's looking at the picture you've got on the screen. He says, "Arrange for a break from your job." Huh? People need a reminder for that.
True. There is that. Yeah, I see what you did there.
So the next one is FlightAware. I actually quite like FlightAware. It's quite nice. FlightAware is if you can. I think I didn't realize there's an app for this. Obviously there is, but the website, the FlightAware website, you can type in the flight number of the flight that you're potentially going to travel on,
right?
And it will give you an overview of how your flight in the previous times has, if it's operated, if it's been on time, if it's been late, what aircraft type's been used on that particular route and stuff. So I didn't realise there was an app for that one. I have to download that one actually. Then now I know there is FlightAware app. To get that one.
I don't know. So what is it? Tell me more about it. What is it?
So like I said, like for me, I typed in the flight number for when I fly to the US next month. I typed in the American Airlines flight number for that, and it gave me an overview of the previous month's flights with that flight. It said that quite a few times it had left late from Heathrow.
Right.
Other days it had got into the US early.
Okay.
And it's kind of a good way of finding out how that flight, performs.
Performing, right. Okay.
And the aircraft type as well, which is always handy to
right,
to know.
for you
so,
especially.
It's
like,
quite good, for me.
Yeah, I'm like, I literally couldn't care less.
Geeky as hell. Next app, this one is called Calm. A favourite meditation app of the points guy.
I actually have a subscription to this because I use it to sleep.
Not least for the array music design to help you sleep. I'm going to have to get this. Also, possibly
it's awesome. It's
a good app for
awesome.
those who struggle with fear of flying. Calming flight anxiety series. No, Matt, this looks rather nice.
So the one that I listen to quite a lot, which helps me is Benedict Cumberbatch, basically talking very calmly at you because he's got one of those voices that's quite soothing. I mean, there's loads of really well-known people who all do bits for this Calm app. I mean, I love it. I think it's a fantastic approach, and I use it because I do struggle to sleep, and I highly recommend it as a way of napping.
I like the waterfall one.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
It's
it's one of those where you need to pop your Bluetooth headphones in, like ideally wireless ones and stuff, so that. No?
Oh, perhaps not then. I was going to play it through me speaker, but...
well, you could, but, I mean, if you've been relegated to the spare room, then that's fine, isn't it? But
which is a nightly occurrence.
Well, right, okay, fair enough.
With having Poppycat.
Right, fair enough.
The next one is called Flio, or FLIO, Flio. The Flio app has useful information and tips to navigate more than 3,000 airports around the world, including everything from how to get to, from the airport, finding pre- and post-security restaurants, shopping lounges, and power outlets. You can receive as well notifications for delays, gate changes, boarding times, and baggage claim belts as well. So I suppose that's a useful app, I suppose, Matt. You want to find out where to eat once you get through the 6,500 year queue to get through security at Stansted Airport.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, that's probably a good app. The gate change one is probably good. Neil Lamworn in the chat room. Neil Lamworn has said, is there an app called Large Gin and Tonic and Beer at 6 a.m.?
Let's hope so. That's very much what's
Richard
needed.
Adams. Richard Adams' comment is quite amusing as well. Richard says you could have an app for current world COVID regulations.
Yeah.
Though that would need to have a lever on the side like a one-armed bandit. Very true, Rick. Very true, Richard. And Micah as well. What's Micah said, Matt?
Said, and please note that story, although on the points guy, is written by our good friend Aunt Bennett Wilson.
Oh yes, the previous story, by Ben A. Yes, by
okay.
Ben A. Wilson. Yeah.
This story.
There's this story, is it? From Aunt Ben A.
Yeah, there you go. Indeed. So the next
one,
another couple of apps. Yeah.
Hotel Tonight. Ooh. The Hotel Tonight website and app allows you to book a room for the same evening, or depending on location, up to a week in advance. Now, can't you do this on another app that begins with B and ends with .com?
Right. I mean, there are alternatives to all of these sites. This is just a few. This is just a few ideas, isn't it?
I have to look at these.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one is called Day Use.
Yeah, so these are John is just saying that they're sort of like about unsold rooms, so possibly available to lower discount than, say, the ones that are, as where Booking.com, which is the one that you referred to, is more often than sites. It's more often like rooms and stuff where they've got 3 at a highly discounted rate just to sort of get bums on beds basically.
The next one is called Day Use. Interesting name for an app. If you're facing a lengthy delay or long layover at an airport, you're tired and an airline lounge is not going to cut it. I mean, why wouldn't it if you're in first class like Nev? The Day app app offers a list of more than 5,000 hotels in 25 countries that offer day rates at between 30 and 75% off an overnight stay. You'll get access to all of the hotel's amenities and can book without a credit card and can cancel your reservation at any time.
Nice.
I suppose that's a good app. I suppose if you're going to be stuck somewhere for sort of 4 or 5, 6 hours, and you don't want to pay for a room for a whole day, you can pay for a room for half a day. That's not bad. Not
Indeed.
a bad app as well.
Yeah. Mike is saying Hotels Tonight gives you last-minute deals. It's a very good one that I use. It's like when you need a hotel within hours. Oh, that's useful.
Hotel Tonight.
We need to download that, definitely. Absolutely.
There's a lot here that I'm going to be looking for when we finish the show. Right. Next one is an app I've heard of before. This is very good, this one. App in the Air. Very good. Play on words there. App in the Air bills itself as your personal travel assistant. It helps you find the best rates for flights and hotels by using search filters including number of stops, times, amenities, alliance programs, and pricing, and more. It gives you updates when your flight status changes and tells you when to check in, even without Wi-Fi, as well as offers information on places to eat, Wi-Fi passwords at most more airports. It backs up your flight history by hours, miles, cities, and aircraft you've flown. Plus, it searches your email addresses automatically to import flights, hotels, and car rental information. My word, that app does a lot.
A lot, yeah, absolutely. Stay tuned on that, we're being told.
Yes,
fair enough.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, we might be talking to someone in regards to that app in a future show. Anyway, next one is called... I like this one. The name of this one's quite good. Okay. Lounge Buddy.
Ooh.
Where's your Lounge Buddy? It's over there, mate. This one, Lounge Buddy, offers access.
What was that? What on earth was that?
Lounge Buddy offers access to premium airport lounges around the world, regardless of the airline or class you're... Oh, I like this one. Regardless of the airline or class you're flying.
Ooh.
When you create a trip in the app, it tells you which lounges you have access to based on the airports you'll be transiting through, as well as how to purchase access if you don't already have it. If you prefer to search by lounge or by lounge program, the app will tell you exactly what is needed to use them.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, I, as a big lover of food, I'm very excited about this one.
Oh, my word. Happy Cow. Yes, you heard me correctly. Happy Cow. For all the food options in an airport, it can still be hard to find the vegetarian or vegan options in the airports. The Happy Cow app is crowdsourced by an airline community and helps travelers find plant-based and vegan options,
nice,
along with healthy food at restaurants and stores around the world, including airports. So that's Happy Cow.
I like it. I like the sound of that.
You can't miss the icon because it's bright purple.
Yeah.
So
Although I think airports especially. I mean, they're much more wise to sort of special dietary needs and things than they've ever been. I think of late. Certainly the major airports, anyway. You may struggle to get more than some. You may struggle to even get a vegetarian option at Norwich Airport, but anyway,
get a flight.
Well,
anyway, this next one's a good one as well, Matt. Grab. Yep. It's called Grab.
Okay.
With Grab, the app, there's a lot less chance of going hungry on a tight connection. Simply order your food, pay online, and pick it up at 60 plus airports in the US,
oh, wow.
Europe, and Middle East and Asia Pacific. So I suppose that's quite handy. You're on a move. You're running towards your gate. I need a burger. Go on your app.
I don't think it quite works.
And and perhaps your burger will be waiting there for you on seat 1A when you arrive.
I don't think they'll. No. You pick it up for the restaurant. I don't think you've got waiters and waitresses chasing you through security. I don't think it quite works like that. Yeah. It's got transportation options and stuff in it as well.
So that's Grab, that one. And the last one as well. And, of course, the Point Sky app. Their new app allows you to use your spare time in the airport or on a flight to plan your next vacation using your points and miles. The app lets you track credit card, airline, and hotel points balances, earn points and miles efficiently by showing you how to use the best credit card, crunch the numbers, and it also shows you how many points or miles you'll need to book that dream trip to Greece. Other countries are available. And TPG news feeds, so you'll need to see the news in advance that matters to you most first in regards to holidays. So the Point Sky app, quite a good one there. Always nice to keep an eye on the points and stuff that you're earning with the various, because there are many points plans, a lot of schemes going around the world at the moment, as we all know, with airlines and credit cards. So good to have those all in one place to see what you're doing.
A couple of apps there I think we'll all be downloading. Neil Lamorne is saying day use could be handy for a nice airport spotting trip. That's a good point. Yeah,
true. That's good. Yeah,
definitely. Micah again saying another one I use if you're not a member like Nevis. This can get you into certain lounges, although they are very limited. Which app was that? That was the Lounge Buddy one.
Lounge Buddy, yeah.
Absolutely. So another one he uses. Yeah.
Lots of good apps.
So Carlos, what one are you going to be downloading, do you think?
I'm going to download the FlightAware one because I use FlightAware on a desktop, but not as an app. So I'm going to download the FlightAware one. The Calm one I'm going to download.
Yeah, I recommend that.
Good.
Yeah,
so I'm going to download the Calm one.
This one is the one I'm going to be downloading. I love this. It's the Hotel Tonight one.
Hotel Tonight.
That one I'm definitely downloading. That one looks really good.
And I think the Lounge, the Lounge Buddy one.
For me, I probably wouldn't use it enough.
If I'm at an airport long enough before I fly, because I like to get there about 3 weeks before I actually fly.
My experience with the EasyJet app. So when I did the Ireland thing very recently, I actually found that app very, very useful because it brought up, for example, the gate information much earlier than it pops up on the screens. Which when you've got to transition mother from where we are to where she needs to be, to get that information 10-15 minutes earlier than when it pops up on the screens is huge. Absolutely huge and useful information. So I mean, some of the airline apps are really helpful. Like EasyJet and that. So I must admit the Ryanair one is great for like booking, like actually booking the flight and doing things like adding stuff on, and obviously you've got your QR code for getting through security and things like that on it. Yeah, it's I think that this is the way it's going to go, isn't it? These apps.
So moving on to the last story on the list this week, and this is a rather interesting story that jumped into the news folders this week.
Yes, this one was sent in, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got this one actually sent in to us from Brian Coleman from the Airplane Geeks podcast. So thanks to you, Brian. And this is for the website is seaboardinggroup.com. And apparently, a woman has been handing out vodka shots to passengers because she was told she couldn't take her bottles through security. So in a move that only Florida could pull off, a woman flying out of the Miami International Airport was informed that she could not bring her jug of vodka through the airport security.
I'm sorry, what?
Her solution? Instead of throwing it in a bin, which is what most of us have to do when we bring liquids over the size we're allowed to, she passed the bottle round fellow passengers and glugged a few shots of the vodka while it was being filmed, obviously, because everything is nowadays, via a mobile phone.
Video, COVID. Sorry.
I know. I watched it earlier, Matt, and I just could not believe it.
Wow. Okay.
The video has gone completely viral, as it always does, on that weird platform called TikTok, which I've just not.
Oh no, I love
around.
TikTok. No, don't be dissing the TikTok.
The user at Latin Bella and fellow passengers pounding a bottle of vodka before going through the airport security line. It seems she forgot the 100 ml rule for traveling with alcohol, a long-standing Transportation Safety Administration or TSA rule. Comments on the viral video itself range from funny to angry and everything in between. For example, one user noted, "I can't believe they're allowing this kind of behavior at the airport, and I'm ever so disappointed I wasn't there to participate." Another one had the comment, "TSA really forced y'all to pre-game or go home." Maybe the funniest comment was from one user who lamented, "It's all fun and games until you realize that your pilot is in that line as well."
True.
Joking aside, and all props to these youngsters' creativity. Who hasn't seen someone chugging a bottle of water before they go through security?
Yes.
But pounding a jug of vodka seems inappropriate.
I mean, it's a bold move, certainly.
Not to mention handling a single bottle around to a bunch of strangers.
Yes, that's the thing that I'm most distressed by, if I'm honest. That's the thing. You know, I mean, in these times, it's just like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
May just well walk around and sort of snog everyone. I think that'd be far more fun than
at least have thought she could have gone and got some shot glasses from somewhere. You know.
I mean, it's an option, certainly. It's certainly an option.
Anyway.
Oh dear, never mind.
So that brings the commercial news stories to a close this week. Hope you all enjoyed those stories. And it's time for the next part of the show.
Right.
Which is this week the caption this pick of the week, just for fun.
I'm going to pop the picture up and try and describe it.
This week has been a very popular week for this picture. Now, Matt...
So I think the best way to describe this is, so I think we're in economy. I think it's safe to say that, isn't it? We're on a plane. We're in economy. Everyone else is seated, either looking at their headrest screen or whatever. And then randomly, 2 rows in front of the guy who took this photograph, there is somebody who is whose feet are in the air, basically. So I don't know whether they're doing a handstand or what, but for some reason, their head is on the floor and their feet are in the air. They're wearing socks, which I think is a relief. Very, very kind of them.
Yeah.
They're a bit short. They haven't quite been able to reach the top. Sort of half expected them to be sort of, have their feet resting on the
I don't know what I'd think about if I saw this. I don't know.
I mean, I'd like to think that that's not how takeoff and landing took place. I'd like to think this was in the cruise, but who knows? Anything's possible, really.
Perhaps it's someone wearing a pair of socks on their hands.
I mean,
I don't think it is.
I mean, it looks like calves, I think, rather than arms. But I'm not an expert. The caption for that is "Pardon me, miss." It's just like,
kick us off, Matt.
Okay, so Steve has his comment is watching a certain scene from Flying High while flying high. James
has said, James James has said, this is hands down the best way to fly.
I like it. John has sent in a comment saying, as Neville could not get seat 1A, he took extreme measures to ensure the seat next to him was not filled with hen or stag parties. He brought an extra ticket for Blodwin. Miss Blodwin, knee, blow up doll. No, blow up doll. Not used to being in a low pressure environment, overinflated herself, causing a number of problems for the crew until an old collagen passenger was able to release the emergency pressure relief valve.
John.
Indeed.
Laura's put actually Laura upset two other people with this one because she beat them to it. Laura put because I was inverted.
Fair enough. Jenny says, I took my shoes off to go to the washroom and now
Top Gun,
I need to... Oh, is it? Oh, I
Top
see.
Gun reference,
Right, yeah. Oh, I see. Right, well done.
So what did Jenny say?
Jenny said, I took my shoes off to go to the washroom and now I need to dry my socks.
Ian says, turbulence? What turbulence?
Right. Bob says, hands down the worst flight ever.
Richard says, passenger misheard the captain when he announced a delay because we must hold 2,000 feet in the air. Very good, Richard.
Ben says, caution section, in the event of wet socks, vents to full open and monitor for 5 minutes.
Oh, man, can you imagine? Steve says, top and tail, Acme Airlines' new approach to onboard social distancing.
Indeed. Matt's Aviation channel says he did not fasten the seatbelt while the plane made a looping.
Oh.
Gordon. Is that like maids are milking? No, sorry.
No. Gordon says he comes from a land down under. It's quite normal that he's from Australia.
Oh, I see what you did there. Nev, I don't know if is that our Nev?
That is our Nev.
Oh, as it says, preparing myself for when Oz and New Zealand open up.
Helen makes a very
good point. Yeah,
a very good point actually. This is actually quite a good point. Avoiding DVT.
Very good point.
Very good.
Robin says localized turbulence in seat 15C.
But Paul says. Worryingly, Paul says, brace.
True. Alan says, standard operating procedures on all flights departing Ibiza.
Andrew says, introducing Ryanair's new extra legroom seats.
And Hillel is exactly in the same place there saying, more legroom. I mean, there is more legroom if you do it that way around.
Yeah. There is, yeah.
I mean, sure, I wouldn't be able to get my lower torso between the seats and the back of the plane. I mean,
by the end of the flight, you would have either a really bad headache or a really red face.
Okay, let's whiz our way through some of the extra ones we've had in the chat room while we've been on air. Richard Adams has said, new cattle class stacking mechanism, perhaps? I like that.
Dirk S. says, passenger didn't pay up. Sit upright fee on Ryanair flight.
As you do.
Richard Adams is also saying, aren't you meant to press the cabin crew call button if you drop your mobile?
You see, I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I thought they were trying to press the call button with their feet. I didn't know that was. Maybe there was a beer can rolling around down the seat rows. Is Dirk S's other suggestion.
I like Richard Adams' Blotto Otto in reference to the inflatable FO.
Well, quite. Very good. Yes, I've heard of that.
Don't forget, if you missed the picture, if you check us out on Facebook, follow us on Facebook if you don't already follow us. Normally every Wednesday, the picture will go up on Facebook for you to put your comments on for us to read out on the show. So keep your eyes on our social media Facebook page. And thank you to everyone who commented this week. It was a popular picture this week.
Indeed. Okay, we're just going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Well, welcome to our London studios. Welcome to the A320 Lounge webinar tech presentation, obviously for the 320 series.
Welcome to the A320 and 737 Lounge, bringing technical refresher courses directly to you. Using our cutting-edge broadcasting facilities, enjoy a fully interactive technical refresher course from the comfort of your own home. All of our webinars are live and you can ask your instructor a question at any point during the day. All of our instructors are highly experienced and can help you. No more expensive nights away from home, no new software required, just an internet connection. Courses are run at regular intervals, so check out A320 Lounge and 737lounge.com for more details.
And we're back. Welcome back, everyone. Little break there. But we have got some military news which has been put together by the legend that is Armando this week, as always. He's put together some stories for me and Matt, which will probably be full of words we can't pronounce and other things that we have no idea about, as always.
Yeah.
So, Matt, if you're ready,
yeah,
hit it. And the first news story for this week comes to us from the aviationist.com. And this story is one that broke earlier this week. I know most of us have been talking about it in the various news feeds. I know Armando has. The British F-35B crash in the Mediterranean, possibly caused by a rain cover left on during launch. So according to the media outlet The Sun, oh boy, the recent crash of a British F-35B during takeoff from HMS Queen Elizabeth was possibly caused by a rain cover not being removed before takeoff. An F-35B Lightning aircraft belonging to the Royal Air Force 617 Squadron crashed into the Mediterranean Sea shortly after launching from the British aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth on November the 17th. The aircraft was one of 8 British F-35Bs and 10 US Marine Corps F-35s currently embarked on HMS Queen Elizabeth and a maiden voyage operational cruise dubbed CSG-21. The pilot ejected from the stealth jet and was rescued and returned to the ship. In the aftermath of the mishap, Defence Secretary Ben Wallace was quoted by BBC's defence correspondent Jonathan Beale, providing some further details, saying that the F-35 ditched soon after taking off from the aircraft carrier and that the operational and training flights on board HMS Queen Elizabeth were continuing despite the incident, a sign that the root cause of the crash was probably immediately known and, more importantly, not pointing to a technical glitch or failure. If confirmed, the crash of the F-35B would have been caused by a catastrophic chain of failures by more than one person. In following the standard taxi and takeoff procedures, that will certainly include multiple visual checks of the actual removal of the air intake covers and safety pins, which are red in colour and have the usual remove before flight or sign, or attract attention to prevent these kind of accidents happening. Now, the US Navy have sent a salvage ship crew to help recover the crashed F-35B. This is from the news.usni.org. So the US Navy is helping the United Kingdom to recover its F-35 Lightning II Joint Strike Fighter that crashed into the sea this week. The UK government spokesperson confirmed to US Navy, USNI News, that the US Navy is dispatching a ship and crew to help with the deep salvage mission. Naval Sea Systems Command did not immediately respond to any inquiry from USNI News about the ship and crew aiding the mission. Italy is also assisting with the mission, and the aircraft has not yet been recovered, it understands, as of yet. And as Mike has pointed out in the chat room, actually, I did see this on a couple of the news feeds that the Russians were very eager to come and help to find this aircraft.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Yes, for reasons I could only imagine.
Well, quite. It's an expensive mistake, Jonathan Warner saying. I mean, essentially, the long short story here, I think, is somebody didn't do their walk round check properly, did they? I mean, that's simply what it sort of boils down to, or at least that's my. We don't know yet. But as I say, I think they know, because otherwise, everything would have been grounded while they looked into it, wouldn't it? I mean, even if it was just on that particular.
If it is found that something was left in, like one of these covers, whoever does these walk around checks or whoever missed this is going to get such a bad day handed to him.
A stern ticking off. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt, you've got the next story.
I have.
Moving on to one of Micah's favourite aircraft.
Indeed. So it's EurasianTimes.com, and the headline is: Germany approves nuclear-capable FA-18 Super Hornets, EW aircraft EA-18G Growlers to modernise fleet. So Germany is likely to send the US government a letter of request, LOR, requesting to procure the Boeing FA-18 Super Hornet and the EA-18G Growler aircraft. Janes reported, quoting local German media. Michael Horrester, Vice President of Boeing's Defence, Space and Security Germany, told Janes that a letter of intent to proceed with the planned sale is expected to be released in January, immediately after the German government is seated in early December. In 2020, Germany's defence minister stated that Berlin plans to buy 30 American-made FA-18E and F Super Hornets and 15 EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft. The Luftwaffe or the German Air Force wants to replace 90 Panavia Tornado interdiction and strike electronic combat reconnaissance aircraft with new platforms by 2025. The German ministry informed the US government in 2020 that Berlin had granted the Luftwaffe permission to purchase a total of 45 Super Hornets and Growler aircraft. She has also said that Germany will purchase roughly 90 Eurofighters as well. Half of the Typhoons would be used to replace Tornadoes, whereas the other half would be used to replace Germany's older Eurofighters. Yeah,
I think this is one of those. I'm sure this is one of the aircraft that we walked around at the Pittsburgh Air Show with Micah.
Yes, I think it was. It was
either Pittsburgh or I think it was Pittsburgh. We went.
Yeah. I mean, it's got some years behind it, but it is very much a popular aircraft even now, isn't it?
Introduced into service in 1999. Introduced service.
I suppose in terms of military, that's not actually that old, is it? That's
first flew in 95. That did, but not introduced into service till 1999.
Yeah.
As currently there was, as of April last year, there's 608 of these that have been built.
Okay, cool.
So next story. Bit of a sad story, this one. This is from the dailymail.co.uk. An Air Force pilot killed and 2 others injured during mishap involving 2 trainer aircraft in Texas following a string of fatal military accidents. An Air Force pilot was killed and 2 others injured Friday morning, this is last Friday, in a mishap involving 2 trainer aircraft at a Texas base. Officials at Laughlin Air Force Base said an incident involving a pair of T-38 Talon jets occurred on the runway at around 10 a.m. One of the injured pilots was taken to San Antonio's Brooke Army Medical Center in critical condition. Their current condition remains unknown. The other pilot was treated at Van Verde Regional Medical Center and discharged. The cause of the incident, or the accident, I should say, is still under investigation, and the Friday's incident follows a string of fatal military accidents. Colonel Craig Prather issued a statement sharing his thoughts that are with the victims and their families. And he said, "Our hearts, the thoughts and prayers are with those pilots involved in this mishap and their families," he said. The identities of the victims have not been released, and the T-38 Talon is a 2-seat twin-engine high-altitude supersonic jet trainer. The Air Force says the jet is used in a variety of roles because of its design, economy of operations, ease of maintenance, high performance, and exceptional safety record. The T-38 Talon is primarily used by the Air Education and Training Command for Joint Specialized Undergraduate Pilot Training. And the Air Command, or Air Combat Command, Air Force Materiel Command, and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration also use the T-38 in various roles. It's always sad when we have to read one of these stories out in the show when it's an accident like this.
Indeed. Well, as I say,
because it is people doing a job that they probably very much love.
Absolutely.
So.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to the next story now, and
on to C-130Js.
Indeed, yeah. Back in September, we talked about a potential project to make the C-130J amphibious. This research seems to be ongoing as a top AF Special Operations General visits Japan. So this is the website. It's stripes.com is the source, and the headline is Air Force Special Operations General visits Japan to gain insight on seaplanes. The Deputy Commander of Air Force Special Operations Command made a quick trip to this base near Hiroshima on Tuesday to learn more about Japan's Shin Maiwa, the US-2 seaplaner version of which the Air Force is also developing. The US-2 seaplane is definitely of interest to Air Force Special Operations. Major General Eric Hill told Stars and Stripes on Tuesday, we've been working with a number of issues to try and think about how we get to runway independence. If you think about the area here, the South China Sea, for instance, if we can turn that into a landing zone for Special Operation Forces, there might be a lot of opportunity there, Hill said. Runway independence means an aircraft does not require an established runway. In this case, a body of water allows a pilot to put an aircraft down almost anywhere. The Air Force, like its sister services, is developing a doctrine to help its counter a rising challenge in the region from China. The Air Force version of a seaplane in the development stage is a modified MC-130J Commando 2, the special operations version of the venerable Super Hercules airlifter, Major General Hill said. Hill visited the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force Fleet Air Wing 31 to give the US-2 a look. Special Operations Command partnered with Air Force Research Laboratory to design a seaplane based on the MC-130J. The Japanese use the US-2 for search and rescue, airlift missions, and reconnaissance for identifying hostile ships and anti-submarine warfare. It took 8 years to develop and incorporate spray suppressors and spray strips that prevent damage to the airframe on water landings. Also, because it can cruise at extremely low speeds, the US-2 can take off and land on waves of up to 9 feet high, according to Shin Maiwa Industries. I mean, that's an interesting story. We do love a seaplane. I know Micah's very keen on a seaplane in general. It's
yes, he does love his seaplanes.
Yeah, it's a great story. This, I mean. It
seems hard to imagine a C-130 is an amphibious plane, though.
Yeah, I suppose it's
it's a rather large aircraft.
Have to undergo an element of modification. I suspect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. In fact, I think I've got some pictures. Let me see what they've been up to so far. I've got the this is sort of what they're scheming, or at least this is the aircraft that they've gone to go and look at, basically.
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes, with the pontoons.
It's good, isn't it? Because it's still got the wheels for landing.
Oh yeah, for landing.
Landing on land, but you could landing.
Well,
on
it's
land,
the same as Micah's favourite flying boat.
Oh, the Catalina. Yeah.
Micah's favourite there. It's got the obviously the pontoons for landing. It is like a flying boat, but it's also got those the ability with the undercarriage and gears that can land on hard surfaces rather than water.
Indeed, yeah, nice. There we go.
Very interesting. So we go.
Based on global warming and ocean rise, seaplanes may have some potential future again. True, that is true. Thanks, Micah.
So there we go. That's the military news segment brought to a close. Thanks to Armando for popping the stories in for us this week, as always. And we've kind of we're kind of wrapping up now, Matt.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
crawled through it. It's a bit weird just having me and you doing a show. It's a while since we've done
it used to happen every week. So I mean,
in the location we're currently in.
Yeah, pretending that we're in. Yes, absolutely. Oh, sorry, that we're in. Sorry,
that we're in.
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Well, that's it then. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined in. Amazing chat room as always. Really appreciated. I see. Right. Okay. We'll have a go at that show. Do you know? I don't think I've ever done the social media links.
We'll let John do the social media links.
Right. Okay. There we are. Yeah.
Go on, Matt. Far away with
I'll do it,
where
shall I?
people can follow us.
Okay.
Online.
Well, first of all, we've got it up and running again, so you can send us a message via WhatsApp, +44 757 2249166. That's +44 757 2249166 is the WhatsApp number here in the studio. You can send us an email. It's podcast@planetalkinguk.com. That's podcast@planetalkinguk.com. Also, if you want to come to our 400th episode, make sure that you get an email into us ASAP so that we can get you on the guest list. Podcast@planetalkinguk.com. And the website www.planetalkinguk.com. On there you'll find links to our Patreon, to our PayPal. You'll find some biogs about us on there as well. All the information you need, and links to previous shows. You've got the entire back catalogue of all shows available to take a look. Will you stop knocking your microphone?
Sorry, I keep knocking my microphone.
And of course, lots of pictures are posted where we do our caption. This competition, for example, search social media for Plane Talking UK. That handle works on Instagram, Twitter, and also on Facebook. You can search social media for Plane Talking UK, all as one word, and you will find us there.
And also, don't forget that shop if you want to buy a P2UK t-shirt.
I have a mug that I still haven't sent out. I need to do that, don't I?
Oh, you not sent that one out yet?
No.
Oh dear.
I've got two I need to send out.
All right, is that the one to the US?
I'll say yes. I don't know.
We've got some. Yeah. If you want to get yourself one of mugs,
I've got one in Europe somewhere as well.
Actually, Craig has ordered a t-shirt and mug. Hopefully, Craig, they'll be with you soon. If not already with you now, Craig. If you're
the mug isn't because it's still
over in the US, Matt's going to send the mug out to you tonight, so he'll get that sent out to you tonight. Don't panic, Craig. But hopefully your t-shirt should have arrived. If it has, just ping us a message. Let us know it got to you. Okay. The shop is the way you can buy your t-shirt, P2UK t-shirt, and P2UK mug as well.
Indeed.
Which you've got to have in the mugs. The mugs are amazing. So treat yourselves or your loved one for Christmas. There we go. I'm sure we.
I don't think you'll be thanked for that. I've got to be honest.
Okay. I'll get one in the stocking.
I was going to say, what would Gemma's response be if you gave her a PT UK mug for Christmas? Eh?
If it had her name on,
no,
she would
rubbish. No,
probably hate it even more.
Oh, absolutely, yes, indeed. Anyway, can you dig us out of this dangerous cul-de-sac?
Very quickly.
You've backed us into. Please.
Thank you to everyone who's joined us tonight on the YouTube channel, and also a big thanks to everyone who downloads the show as an audio podcast. Don't forget, whatever you download your audio podcast through, a lot of the apps give you the choice or the chance to rate the show or give us a rating on there. I know iTunes do, and a few of the other ones do give you a chance to leave a review. We'd love to hear your reviews, and don't forget as well, we'd love to hear some feedback from you as well. So if you want to send us in some feedback, whether it be voice, picture, email, text, or whatever, you can email us that in, or use our WhatsApp number as well, which you guys should all know. It's on our website. But we'd love to hear what you're up to, what your plans aviation wise for Christmas. But that's it, guys and girls. Don't forget to tune in. Actually, we're not here next week, are we? We're having a break next week because next Friday is the APG 500 show. So next week we'll be giving APG Friday night to themselves to enjoy their party. So we won't be live.
That's absolute nonsense. We're not doing it because we want to sit down and watch it. That's why.
Because we want to watch.
Because we want to be there. Yeah.
We will be back on the 10th of December.
Yes, indeed.
So make sure you're back here on the 10th of December, where hopefully, fingers crossed. all the team will be back.
Yeah. Can I just say also, while I remember, congratulations to Alex. So Alex, who I think is actually in the chat room at the moment. I'm trying to get the sorry, my phone's playing. Yeah, so congratulations to Alex, who has he sent a message to the WhatsApp number this week saying, I haven't been on the live stream the last couple of weeks. I hope you guys are well. The reason I haven't been on most Friday nights is because I've been down to Stapleford Flight Centre to fly on Saturday. The good news is I won't have to do that anymore, as last Saturday I passed my commercial pilot's license skills test.
Good round of
applause.
Absolutely.
Next, I will be doing my multi-engine rating and then my instrument rating. So, huge congratulations to
I would drink a good
Alex
fine scotch,
Indeed.
Alex, but I haven't got one.
And in fact, Mazouz has just sent us a picture of Cambridge Airport, which I shall take a look at in a moment. So there we are. The WhatsApp number is very much up and running, I'm pleased to say. But again, congratulations to Alex.
Well done,
deserved.
Alex.
Well done, absolutely.
Well done, Alex.
Come on in. Let's go.
That's it then, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend and stay safe. Enjoy your Sunday roast. We'll be back on the 10th of December. Don't forget to tune in next week on Friday to APG's massive 500 extravaganza.
Hurrah.
So from me, Matt here in the PTK kitchen studio for episode 392. Take care, everyone, and say goodbye, Matt.
Goodbye, Matt.